Inside the Room, a music show where the music comes first, featuring artists that share their personal stories and experiences from the music scene, with each story meant to inspire and support emerging and up-and-coming musicians. You're listening to Inside the Room podcast.
We are inside the room with Mass Punishment.
Time has come, the moment is here. You'll feel the pound of the ground. The time has come.
So tell us a little bit about the evolution of the band, like how you got together.
Okay, this is going to be a long story. Where can we start?
These two dudes were doing music when I came out of the Army already. They each had their own bands, and I was looking to get back into the music scene after my exit from the Army. I was always going to a couple of my friends' bands shows and stuff. They were always opening up for like bigger band. Actually, Eric was in that band, and so I used to go support him. I had my eyes on Eric actually from that moment to kind of poach him to be my singer. And when that band had split up, I was like, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, no. I was like, "You still into doing music?" And he's like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Well, I'm starting this project up right now, so if you want to jump on board," basically. And that's how it happened. Eric didn't even need an audition. I already loved what he did with his previous band. And me and Ed used to just jam together.
We rent a rehearsal room and go jam Slayer songs all day.
What's funny about Chris's story is when he did poach me, he called me. I remember the conversation like it was yesterday. I was at one of my older jobs, and I was in the hallway, and he called me, and I was on the phone with him, and he was calling me, and as he was talking to me, you know, I'm starting this new project, and I asked him specifically, "What's the band name?"
Feeding the slaves, finding the solution. The legions are coming, the cowards are running, the kingdoms are falling, the sons are crawling. If you are inside the ground.
It's called Mass Punishment. And right when he said Mass Punishment, dude, I had butterflies in my stomach. No lie. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, just the name intrigued me to be like, why the fuck didn't I think of that? And I was thinking, is that a band name already? And I was like, fuck. And I thought of the Punisher right away, like the comic guy, the Punisher. I just said I got to be a part of it, you know. But that's what made me really want to be a part, because I was like, I got to be a part of this shit. Mass Punishment was badass. So yeah.
Yeah, it's a good name, and it's so hard to come up with a good band name. That hasn't been taken. So,
Thank you.
Christopher,
Thank you.
So that Mass Punishment, you got that from an Army term?
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, it's heavily used in basic training. Like when one dude fucks up, everybody pays the price for it. So we were always like bitching about all the mass punishment going on because of all the fuck ups in the platoon or some shit, you know. But then, so I apply that to like everything that's going on in the world, though. Like we are the masses, and we're all being punished.
Who are you guys, some of your favorite bands?
Well, I see you wearing one shirt of mine. What are you wearing there, Cindy?
I gotta represent Texas.
Eric's wearing my favorite band shirt, though.
Mass Punishment. Yeah. Nah, but
Nice.
Pantera is my all-time favorite band. The new Pantera, not so much. The older one, yes. But that's another story. How many bands, like you saying, question what bands?
Yeah, name off some bands, stupid.
Just top one. 5, top 3 to 5. I don't know.
That's a tough
Name
one.
your top 100, Eric. Name your top 100 bands.
I don't know. I would say Sepultura is one. Or Fear Factory. You got Slayer, obviously.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence with Metallica, but they're great. I respect them. You have to. Pantera, obviously. Old school Pantera.
Machine for Ed.
Yeah. Meshuggah's a very big one of my all-time favorites as well, Meshuggah. I love them. So grew up with some brutal bands.
Grew up on Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Guns N' Roses, Iron Maiden, you know, all the fucking big ones, all the greats back in the day. Anthrax, fucking. Yeah, I'm down with Fear Factory. That's fucking badass. Ed, go ahead, bro.
Man, I like fucking death metal too, dude. Like Deicide,
Yeah, death metal.
some death. Chuck Schuldiner was the fucking man, dude. You know, like
Morbid Angel, bro. Morbid Angel was my first death metal band.
Feeding the slaves, finding the solution. The legions are coming, the cowards are running, the kingdoms are falling, the sons are crawling. In fear, in sound of
Describe your music for us for someone who hasn't heard it yet.
Metal to make you move.
hardest thing for me to describe because it's just metal to me.
That's cool. I like that answer.
Well, Cindy, let me ask you, what you've checked this out. What genre do you put us in? Thrash, hardcore, metal, heavy metal, thrash, grindcore?
She just agreed with Ed. She said Ed gave the perfect answer.
Yeah.
Metal. It's just metal. If I had to go along with because I'm not down with all the subgenres. I don't follow all these subgenres and shit. But the closest one that I've heard that I would say, okay, we would fit into that is metalcore, because we do have like that hate breed kind of feel to it, but we're also metal. So we have that hardcore meets metal sound. But we also have this electronic feel to it now too, which I really fucking like.
Yeah, Chris is really big on...
Gives us more like a Fear Factory.
Yeah, Chris is big on the industrial.
Well, I was in industrial bands. That's how I started off, was in industrial bands back in the 90s, man.
I like the industrial style. I'd rather have it the old school thrash way, but that's just my opinion. Because old school. I don't mind industrial though, but I don't want too much of it, like overly barren, It's like, come on, man. But
Who are some of the bands that you guys have shared the stage with?
Guar, Immure,
Unearth.
Yeah, Unearth was
Dope.
What was the Gore experience like for you?
That was awesome. That was a great show.
Yeah, I've seen them twice. They're just a bit crazy.
That was fun. This was like the first tour after the original singer had passed away, and like the storyline of the theme of the show was they were looking for the new singer.
Oh wow.
It was my first Guar show. I was like, who the fuck is this turtle dude?
Nah, they were interesting. I mean, they put up a show. That's a good thing for them, I respect them. They've been around for fucking ever, man. So I respect all bands that stick together and stay around for 40 years, you know what I mean?
So what's the writing process like for you guys?
It's pretty weird. I don't want to give away all my tricks and stuff, but really, like,
it's different. See, it's different than what it was when we wrote, 8 years ago, 10 years ago. It's different than how we're writing now. It's a little bit different process.
Well, the last five, six songs that we recorded were basically written in the studio. The first one that was recorded was "God Bless America," and when I showed up to the studio with that, the producer, our producer George Pong, he basically like sliced and diced my work and threw a lot of it aside and was like, no, we're going to do it like this. And I wasn't really used to that. Our other producer, Eric Rachel, that we work with, was a lot more, give me a lot more breathing room, whereas in George really kind of gives a lot of influence in the direction of which way this song is going to go. So like after we did God Bless America that way, and half of the work got tossed aside, I said, next time I came into the studio, I came in with something, and a little bit more got tossed aside. So like the past 4 songs, I would say were completely written in the studio. I'd show up with an idea, and we just build off of that.
Yeah, that's how we really write,
Where we used to write our songs together as a band and rehearse them like 1,000 times, make it as perfect as we can before we even bring it to the stage. And that's how we used to do it. Now it's like everything that we're doing right now is like on the spot.
Now, y'all don't live in the same area, right?
No. I moved out of Jersey.
So you send each other like parts, like.
Yeah, like we in the studio or whatever, we do like a rough track and basically how the song is gonna go, and then like I'll record some vocals, kind of like mimic him, and how my ideas will go. I'll send it out to Chris. He'll check it out. Oh yeah, I like this idea. This sucks. That sucks. This is cool. I'm feeling this. And then he'll send me back some of his ideas, and that's how we do it. Thank God for technology. That's one good thing about today's art.
Yeah.
Because if this was back in 1980, 1990, we would not be doing this at all.
Couldn't have done it. No. Not too long ago, you signed with Wormhole, Death Records, and Extreme Management Group. Tell us a little bit about how that came about for you.
We took a 6-year hiatus that began back in 2015. And when we reunited, automatically we started hitting the studio like right away, because we're like, okay, if we're back, then let's show everybody that we're back. I'm on social media just pushing the band, trying to just expand our numbers and stuff. And this one dude comes across, and he messages me, and he's like, yo man, you guys are fucking good, and you guys have this fucking look. He's going on about how he loves the look, how he loves the sound. And he's like, are you guys on a label? And I was like, nah, man. And he's like, hold up. And he starts messaging this girl that he knows. And supposedly she was an A&R person. I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole.
Okay.
She really wasn't an AR person, but she pretended to be an AR person. And but she did give me like email contacts of people to message in the industry, and I started emailing all the contacts that she was giving me, and an actual A&R person from Wormhole Death contacted me and is like, yo, we checked yous out. Dude, actually, it's funny, man, because fucking when I got this email, I forwarded it to Eric, and I was coming upstairs to tell my ex-wife at the time, and I couldn't make it up the stairs because I started like gagging. I was like, I can't believe this shit's happening. Like, basically, the A&R person like said how much they loved our demo album that we released back in 2014, and was going on about it, and said that he's pitching it up to his CEO, Carlo Bellotti of Wormhole. And then later on, that guy emailed us, and he's like, yo, I just listened to your album from beginning to end. It's epic. He's like, it sounds like it's a soundtrack to Apocalypse Now or something. And and we were just blown away, and they were like, we'd like to discuss a record proposal and a contract proposal. And shit, man, my jaw hit the fucking floor.
I remember that.
I was like, it's crazy. What's really crazy about it is the fact that we had just reunited. Like, we spent so many years on the road playing shows, constantly playing shows, like constant. It was. We didn't have to practice no more. Like, rehearsal was a breeze. We were a well-oiled machine. We were using shows as rehearsal because we were just constantly playing shows, and nothing ever friggin' came our way. And we were getting close. We had a good feeling about it, man.
Yeah,
Like,
we were getting close, but just not close enough.
We were playing on some big festivals and stuff, and it was amazing. And you could just tell that we're on the cusp of something great.
What really helped us out a lot. We not to cut you off, Chris, but we wanted to bet.
Well, you are though. Thank you.
we won the Battle of the Bands twice, so that's really helped us.
But other than playing our hearts out constantly, nothing was coming our way. And what ended up splitting us up was our drummer. Like, we just could not deal with this guy no more. We could not deal with this guy no more. He was just a dark cloud in the band. And back then, we all weren't that close. Like, what happened is that we all are coming from four separate directions to rehearsal, show up at rehearsal, and then go four separate directions. We weren't really like, we weren't the family that we are now. Mm-hmm. And honestly, what we had to do was we had to cut our drummer, and now we're like a lot happier. We got Ed in the band now too, and fucking, it's just the three of us, we could actually look at each other and be like, we're actually brothers. I'd fucking take a bullet for either one of those dudes, and fucking I know they would do it for me too, you know?
Yeah, we got definitely, and the band's actually moving along a lot smoother and a lot faster, way faster. The drummer held us back for so much. It just, it was crazy, but.
So are you going to have like a hired hand for your drummer, or are you going to look for a new drummer, or how are you going to handle that?
Right now, we're probably just going with a hired gun. We already have someone, Anthony Kuda from.
Gotcha.
He's in a band that's on Prosthetic Records, Blindfolded and Led to the Woods. But he's not a permanent member. He's not a permanent member. He's just like our hired gun right now.
Right.
Down the road, he may be, but
right.
the guy's a busy dude.
So Christopher, you actually served in the Army on the front lines in Operation Iraqi Freedom. So talk a little bit about how that experience helped serve as a message for a lot of the songs on Proving Ground's Devastation.
Well, that really laid the groundwork. You know, everything that I went through over there was the motivator of the band. You know, everything that I went through. That's how the band got the name. We already, you know.
Yeah.
So it's basically the subject matter on that whole album. It just, you know, I was serving on the front lines, gonna change somebody pretty drastically, and you know, coming back home and everything, there was just this like feeling of estrangement. And I remember when they told us that we were coming home, like me and my brothers in the Army, we were looking at each other, we're like, we don't want to go. Like we knew that we had changed, and we're like, how do we go home and face our families after all this? How do we face our friends after all this, you know? So I like, for me, it was very therapeutic to write about it all and bring what I have actually seen to the music. You had so many bands, like I grew up on Slayer, Megadeth, Metallica, writing about war, you know, writing these epic songs about it. And I feel like it's different to actually have someone that was over there write about it rather than bands that haven't seen it. And it's cool that they write about it, absolutely, but now you have somebody that was actually in that shit.
Woke up this morning to crimson skies. And I thought
So talk a little bit about the meaning of the song Desert Rogue.
You know, I wrote that that was about the dust storm that we were in when I was in Iraq. It shut down, like all major military operations had to shut down because we were stuck in this friggin' dust storm for like 24 hours. And when it finally started clearing, man, I got out of my Bradley and it looked like we were on Mars. It was crazy. Like
Wow.
there was just red dust in the air, and it literally looked like you just stepped onto another fucking planet. And then, you know, it's about that. I mean, that was the premise that started that song. But then it talks about, you know, the casualties of war.
Right.
You know, a mother cries and stuff like that. Yeah, I seen a lot of fucked up shit when I was in Baghdad. You know, going into Baghdad, that was huge. That was a 2-day battle, and man, I seen some shit that really that's what affected me most. You know, I was over there to fight soldiers. I was over there to take a soldier's life, and here we are. You know, and people got in the way that weren't in uniform, and I seen a lot of messed up shit that shook me pretty fucking bad.
Yeah. I have to say that was the first song of you guys that I listened to, and I really related to it on a personal level because my dad was a veteran. He served in Nam. He served in a MASH unit, and any time that he never talked about it, and any time that it came up in conversation, the only thing he ever said was, "I saw a lot of people die."
Yeah.
So,
Well, God bless him. God
yeah,
bless your family.
thank you for that.
Listen,
Yeah.
that's
So-
what I don't like talking about it, and
Yeah,
I usually
understand that.
don't, and you know, that's why I write what I write.
Right.
I'll take those feelings and emotions and I put that into my music.
Is it one big lie? Genocide!
Tell us about what worldwide genocide is about.
Yeah, man. I was just listening to that last night.
That's a
actually,
badass
I
song,
was
man.
listening to it
I
this
love
morning.
That's a badass song, man.
Thank you. So, the last half of this album is actually, those are newer songs that we have. And those are more relatable that anybody can relate to because it has to deal with the lockdowns, it has to deal with the forced vaccinations, it has to deal with mask mandates, it has to deal with the riots. It's the world governments pinning their citizens against citizens, you know, and that's really what that song is about. Our government's creating division rather than fucking unifying us, and then just putting that force down on us, and you know, showing how much they really care about us.
The government thought they were gonna keep me locked up in a cage for the rest of my life. They think we belong in a fucking zoo. It's time to break the fuck out right fucking now.
So, what would your advice be for like some of the newer bands coming out, like young bands?
Don't do it. Don't do it.
You know what?
Somebody's gonna say it. So
If you like sanity and you like free time, yeah, don't do it.
If you like going fucking broke and you want to spend all your money,
Yeah, no. If you like money, don't do it.
yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it.
So what's next for you? Are you like working on new material right now? What are you doing right now?
Yeah, write new material. Actually trying to possibly release a new EP.
How many songs?
We're planning on doing 6, but we usually outdo ourselves, so there'll probably be a couple bonus tracks on that as well. So a couple of surprises coming people's way. They have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
And
So how is it going to be similar or different from the Proving Grounds Devastation album?
Oh, it's gonna be.
These songs are a little bit more, have a lot more fat cut off of them. Like, yeah, there's a lot more fat cut off of these songs.
The recording process is, there's new gear, new sounds. It's, current metal.
Yeah, it's more to the point, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Our intros are a lot more quick to the point. Our bridges, everything is a lot more condensed, I would say. But it's still. I mean, the subject matter is changing as well. It's that Proving Grounds Devastation, mainly all about the war in Iraq, and then the soldier coming home and having to deal with things here back home. This one is gonna take the story a little bit darker and not have so much to do with the war, but just how society, how a soldier coming back from war, dealing with current things in society, how it could pretty much drive that person insane and to do some crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
We got the song 5455, man. It's sick.
Yeah, it's killer.
It's sick.
It's a bleeder.
And then are you gonna tour with this EP or do you know yet?
That's the plans. Right now, our manager's trying to get us on a few tours overseas.
Oh, okay.
Linking us up with some bigger bands over there, and do nothing huge, but a couple of short tours. Start getting our numbers up and getting us ready for bigger, better things next year. So this EP is definitely going to have some tour support on it, but as well, it's more for our manager to make the band a little bit more marketable, rather than just pushing us with one album, having an EP to back the album
Right.
right off the bat.
Yeah.
So.
You can never have too many songs, you know what I mean? You always want to pump out new music.
Yep.
That's like most
Yeah.
important thing.
So what were some of the festivals that you guys played on? You mentioned some of the festivals.
Skate and Surf Fest. Yeah, you have half pipe set up for all the skaters, and then you had like BMX trick riders doing all the shit while you're playing on the stage and everything. It's pretty fucking
We actually
awesome.
played
It's
back
pretty
to
wild.
back, right? 14 and 15.
Yep.
Yeah, back to back. We won the Battle of the Bands twice, so that was cool.
And I was like, man, there's this fucking metal band playing across the street. Like, who the fuck are these guys? And I walk over there and like, it's fucking these dudes, man. I was
Really?
like, fucking small world. Yeah, dude. Like, you guys was just getting done with your set. I think you were doing like the cover medley or something, man. And I'm like texting Chris. I'm like, he's like, it just got off stage, man. I was like, no shit. I was like, I would just walk by.
What was the cover medley? What were the covers that you played?
Oh, that's a good question.
It starts off with Pantera.
Yep.
Pantera Walk goes into Slayer's
Disciple.
No. Yeah, Disciple, yeah.
Disciple, and then goes into Hatebreed's. What was Hatebreed's song?
What the fuck was the Hatebreed song? Perseverance?
Yes.
Perseverance.
Went into Sepultura's.
Yeah, that was KSAD.
Chaos AD. And then the outro was the outro to Domination from
Yeah,
Pantera.
Domination, yeah.
So it
Oh,
began with
wow.
Pantera and ended with Pantera.
It's something that we do, and,
That's quite a medley.
and it's something that we're probably going to continue to do live. I think it went well.
Dude, that always got people going.
Yeah, it was.
That always
Yeah.
got, because we didn't do the whole song.
Nah.
You know, we did like the intro into the
Yeah.
first chorus, and then into the next song, and everybody's just standing there like, oh my god, like every time
Now
it,
they're playing
every time every time the song changed, everybody's like, holy shit.
No, it worked.
You
it
could see
worked
the
good.
people's
It
faces.
worked good.
It was
So
awesome.
we're
It was
definitely
awesome.
going to do that again. Absolutely. It was badass.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. That was at Starland too. We did that. So it was cool.
That's a nice way to showcase your influences too.
Well, it's funny that you say that too. I think we're kind of special in the way with Mass Punishment, that we all grew up, the band members, as far as with the best metal bands. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah,
The
we
best.
grew up with the legends.
I don't think
we grew up listening to the legends.
And this is no disrespect to the newer metal bands out there today, but there's nobody that's going to be better than the old school metal bands: Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, Pantera, Fear Factor, Sepultura. You can go on and on. Meshuggah,
Yeah, well, we grew up with the pioneers. Of
yeah. Ozzy,
Those-
you also named too Ozzy and Black Sabbath too, man. They're all on the list. We grew up with the best fucking bands ever. So, and I think that's what our music is showing too.
It shows through in our music. You feel a lot of different styles,
Yeah.
and that's what we hear from a lot of people. It sounds like you guys sound like Fear Factory, you guys sound like Pantera, you guys sound like Sepultura, you guys sound like Slipknot. People come up to us and always say all these fucking bands that we sound like, and we're like, fuck yeah, man. It's cool, and what's really cool is that we don't sound like one or the other. You sound like a mix of all of them.
I would agree with that.
No, that's the good thing. The newer bands today never grew up on that, so it's interesting to hear what they have. It's good what they have.
Yeah.
It's definitely a different direction, and it's unique. But I like the old school better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah. Who's the best band you've shared a bill with and why?
Ooh, that's a good question. So many good ones. So many good ones.
You can pick a top 3 if you want.
I love the Amur.
yeah.
That was fucking
Muir was fun.
badass.
They were cool dudes. We were moshing on stage.
Frankie was badass. Yeah, they let us come on stage with them,
they were
and
cool.
fucking we were rocking out on stage with them and
Nice.
shit. Man.
I actually stage dived off the fucking stage. I had a blast.
What?
Yeah. Stage
I actually have that on.
yeah, you
camera.
do.
Okay.
Eric's jumping across.
Send
and I
Rob
was
the
like,
footage.
right?
I don't know if I would do it. I don't know if I ever do that again, because when I did stage dive, everybody kind of like, nobody caught me.
Wait,
Yeah, were you? Did they?
but he
they
did.
catch
But
you?
he did it like 4 or 5 times too, and I was
Oh
like,
my
"What the
God.
fuck? This crazy bastard."
So, is there anything else you guys want to talk about?
Anything else we want to talk about? I just can't wait to go on tour.
When do you think that's going to happen?
Uh,
Or you don't have it scheduled yet because you're working on your EP, right?
Well, we had a couple offers actually that are taking place, but one of them we had to turn down, and there's still 2 offers out there, but we're not 100% if we're going to be on that. Or
Yeah.
not. So we really can't announce it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But I can announce the bands that were being offered. We're open for Malevolence overseas in the UK. Dark Angel that just reunited. They're doing a tour over in the UK. So we got these 2 tour offers to go on with them right now.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you guys so much for doing this interview and for spending your time with us. I really appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
cheers.
Cheers.
Hey, salud.
We're with Cindy Osborne inside the room. Check out Mass Punishment.